Having a wonderful day so far. The day has, well, this is about the halfway point of the day. We had an amazing wake-up call this morning earlier with myself and Craig, and now we've got a masterclass for you. But rather than looking at one thing, we're going to look at a lot of our amazing Christmas launches that you will have seen over the last week or so, and it's kind of in two parts. I'm going to share some with these with you in the later launch party show as well, and it is a double bill of the lovely Jan. How are you, Jan?
I'm good, thanks, Joe. It feels as if I've not been away, honestly. We were here together at the weekend, had a day at home getting everything ready for today, back again today. I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, we wanted to bring you everything that we've launched so far for, well, not everything, as much as we can. What's left, yeah, that we've launched for Christmas in July here at Crafters Companion. So I've got lots of different things. Some of them, well, most of them you will have already seen. If you haven't decided to buy yet, today's the day. So I'm just going to show you a few samples of things that we've got on the show, starting off with that gorgeous Gnome collection. So we've got Nature's Garden. Gnome's coming up first. All right, we have had a couple of sellouts in those, which Joe will tell you about later. But just to give you some ideas, it's a lovely little collection, very whimsical, really nice for just having a good old play with. And then again, if you want to go on to a bigger scale, absolutely, using that faux snow in there. We've also got the new dome builders on there. So I'm going to show you how to do these as well in the show. So the concept is the dome shape, but then taking it, outside the box, making it into other ideas as well. So it's the same dies used in a different way. We've also brought back the Centerpiece dies, very popular. So again, that was that stag. Let me just move some of these out of the way for you. So we've got those family of deers there. And then I've got the nativity scene. So we're going to be doing some of that for you during the show. And then I launched these on, was it Sunday, Joe, we launched these?
Yes,
I think, wasn't it? So we've got those lovely Christmas tree stamps. So again, just showing you different ways of using them. So we've got that shutter card with them on. And this one is just absolutely fabulous. Who did this one? Let me look. Sandy, just give her a shout out. Just watch this one. Isn't it? Just look.
How
I think that is a really, really inventive way of using those Christmas tree stamps. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, Sandy. So yeah, just a little snippet of what we've got coming up. We've got some other bits and pieces too, but yeah, can't wait to get started as always, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. There's loads in this show. If you want to get in touch with me, as always, all the usual ways. Crafters TV if you're over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're watching us on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're watching us over on YouTube as well. I have a new bundle for you. A couple of the elements of the gnomes, as we did predict, have sold out. Don't worry though, if you haven't got them so far, what I can tell you is we've still got the card stock in stock, we've still got the papers available, we've just had to tweak the bundle a little bit. It's in a really awesome, succinct collection from the latest Nature's Garden collection. Let me take you through exactly what you're going to get in this brand new bundle. So what you've got in here, firstly, is the Gnome Child. Now I love this because what you're getting is you're getting the stamps in here, which of course you can use on their own. You can then use that in conjunction with the dies if you want to create these elements here, but also you're going to get the stencil included in there as well. So you're getting stamps, stencils and dies within there. Then you're going to receive the Kissing Gate, which is this one just here. I mean, it is an adorable winter scene that you can create there with that. Who doesn't like a bit of a pucker up under the mistletoe, Jan, at Christmas? I know I certainly do.
Definitely.
Then what we've got in here for you as well is the Gnome Village. Again, you've got the dies in here, and then the stencils is going to enable you to add all of that added detail, whether that's inking through there or adding some of your mixed media products through there as well. We then move on to these beautiful stamps. I mean, if you love your alcohol colouring, you are going to absolutely adore these. They are really cute. They're a great size as well, so if you want to add multiples onto your project, absolutely, that is something that you can choose to do. We've got an embossing folder in here for you as well. Now this is the Gnome Snow scene that you're looking at just here. Really does make awesome landscape projects for you. We're then going to move into the acetates and vellums. Now you're going to get 12 sheets here, so you're going to get 3 sheets of each. So you're going to get this beautiful vellum, which is the snow scene just here. The snowflakes, I should say, and you're going to get the snow flurries in here too, and then you get the exact same in the acetate too. So if you want to make things like shaker cards, you want to add interest, build texture in your projects, absolutely, they are going to allow you to do that too. And then we're going to move on to the cardstock, because oh my word, it is so adorable. Really beautiful color tones. I really love that. It's not traditional Christmas this, but it is definitely loads and loads of fun. So you've got your luxury pearlescent double-sided cardstock in here in the 4 different colors that you can see here. And then of course we're going to move into those wonderful paper pads as well. You do get multiples in here. I believe it's 2 sheets of each that you get in here, and they are fantastic. I love that you've got some checks and plaids in here. You've got some with the actual characters themselves in here, all double-sided as well. Love that these snow flurries on the underside match beautifully with the acetates and vellums that you're going to be receiving in this collection as well. Some sentiment-based designs in there, some very traditional Christmas and something a little bit more unusual. We've had to put it over 2 pads, you get so many within here. And again, let me just share with these with you. Again, quite Scandinavian, a lot of the designs in here. And I think it's just going to be wonderful for creating super cute Christmas projects for you. Again, if you want to go for any of the items that I've just shared with you, the best way is always to get the best value, because that's how you get the saving. Platinum members, you're looking at £48 or $64. Everything I've just shared with you is available individually as well. If you missed out on the original bundle, now is a great time to grab this bundle, because what will happen is elements from this collection will no doubt sell out, and then we will bring it back again for you, but it will be a slightly smaller configuration. So now is a good time to grab a hold of those. There is a lots of stuff in this show. I would urge you to pop yourself over to the website, hit the shop the show button, have a look at everything that's coming up in there. Tenner Tuesday is also happening as well over on the website. There's a whole section of goodies available for £10 or $10. There's paper pads in there, double-sided dies, creator card dies. Go and snatch yourself a bargain. It's only going to be running for today, so make sure you take advantage of that. Now, something else we're going to be concentrating on a little later today in our launch party show, but it is available in this show right now, is the Christmas Floral Spray Stamp and Die collection. Myself and Craig will be bringing you a craft along with this coming Saturday as well, so definitely snap these up. Whether they come, if they come before Saturday, brilliant, get involved. If they come after that, you'll be able to watch it back at any time. Something else that we have available for you is the brush lettering collection. Now, myself and Jan had the pleasure of launching this last week. It is a fantastic collection, really lovely concept this. Definitely mix and match these also. Big bold stamp for the background, and then that wonderful brush lettering style in the foreground there. $38.35 or $47.76 for platinum members. We also have the Centerpiece dies. Jan shared a little of these with us a moment ago. These are amazing. They cut so much detail into the center of your card. You can use some of these portrait, some of them landscape. It's up to you how you want to put these together, and a fantastic platinum price there for you, I'm sure you'll agree. The Christmas tree stamps as well, these are available in this masterclass today. 2 Crafters TV, Crafters Companion exclusives within here for you as well. Season's Greetings and Merry and Bright, only available from us here at Crafters Companion, and another fantastic price point for you there, I'm sure you'll agree. Another thing that was very busy since we launched them yesterday, it is of course the Gemini Christmas 3D Scene Builders. These make an incredible concept, whether you are creating them as a concept on their own or using those dies to add details to other concepts you want to be making. You're not actually paying for the dies here, and we're going to give you all of the storage, the magnetic sheets, the folder and the files included in there as well. £32 or $38.40 for Club Inspire Platinum members. As I said, any questions or comments, get them into me. But Jan, I can see she's like a coiled spring over there. She's got her hands on that Gnome collection at long last, Jan.
I have, honestly, love these. We were chasing them on Sunday night, Joe, and we said that they were going to start selling through, didn't we? So, yeah, I'm going to try and get some demos in for you today as well. So I've actually taken the paper pad, and I've got one of the stamp and die sets that we're going to work with, and just create, you know, sort of a nice little card for you to start off with. So I've actually taken some of these gorgeous papers, and I love the fact that you've got sort of that, the first part of the paper pad is more those traditional Christmas colours, and then then the second part of it is more of a contemporary Christmas. So for this first demo, we're going contemporary.
Awesome.
And then either later on in the show or later on this evening, we're going to go traditional with it. So I've taken a couple of sheets out of there, and I've done a little bit of matting and layering ahead of time. So I've used some of the pearlescent card from the card pad and some of that paper. Just got a little bit of ribbon across here because I kept forgetting on Sunday, so I thought I'll stick it on already and we're sorted. A little bit of ribbon under here to decorate, and then I've also made a smaller panel using one of the alternative papers, and you can see how well they match. When they're all taken from the same paper pad, you know that you're going to get those colour tones matching beautifully. So we're going to start layering these up, but before I do that, we need some stamps to play with. So I've taken the little tiny Gnome child set here. Absolutely gorgeous. And inside here you've got a selection of stamps, you've got some dies to cut out those stamps, and then you've also got a little tiny diddy stencil which allows you to add detail to that little gnome once you've done it and coloured it in. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I've got my stamping platform at the ready. I've got some Nina cardstock in there, which is my sort of preferred choice for stamping on when I'm doing anything like this.
Some people let me know they've already received their Gnome collections, Jan,
yeah,
and been creating with them already. If you are one of those people,
ooh,
we'd love to see some pictures, Jan.
Definitely, definitely. I really like to see what people have done with the collections.
Send those in to me, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Let's share some of your creativity with everyone else, because I know it's one of those collections that everyone was just so excited to get their hands on.
It's
So
just
hopefully we'll get some of those in.
Fun, isn't it? Yeah,
really
it's a bit of fun. So lots of others in there. You've got the little banner presents in there. You've got 3 different sentiments, and you've got a selection of the metal dies to cut all these elements out. So we're going to need to cut out the mushroom, the toadstool house, and then the little gnome. So we'll take those off at the ready and pop that to one side. So first thing I need to do then is actually pick these up and give these a stamp out. And again, I've just chosen an alcohol-proof finesse ink. You know my go-to one is Flagstone. I nearly always reach for this one. Just a preference. There are 4 different colours in the range, but I like to use the Flagstone one for a lot of my stamping. And then we're going to transfer that to our cardstock, and then I've just got a couple of my alcohol pens out just to colour. I'm just going to colour the little gnome in and then show you how that stencil works, because I have got some of these that I've already coloured in. But you can see there how cute they are when they're all stamped out. So we'll take it off there, and then I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock just to pop underneath while I'm colouring. And then I've taken just a selection of my tri-blend pens to actually match the cardstock that I was working with. So I'm just going to colour in quickly, just the little guy here, and then we'll show you how that stencil works as well. So little bit of skin tone on his face, just to get that one going. And then his little nose. And then I've just chosen a couple of colours that match that paper selection. So I've chosen the turquoise bluey ones and the purple ones just to match the colours in the paper pad. So we're going to go with a little turquoise hat. See how light, that's fine. Just to pop this in here. And again, I'm not doing anything fancy with this. I'm just doing what I call my flat colouring. If you want to add your shading to these, they look gorgeous. But for the purpose of what I'm going to do with the stencil on top, I just need that one layer of colour down just to add something to the base there.
We're just putting together, so this new bundle that's been put together, Jan, it's so new and so fresh. It's just being uploaded to the website right now. All the individual elements are there.
Excellent.
But the new bundle I just shared the details with you of isn't currently there at the moment. As soon as it goes live, I will let you know. If you're shopping for the individuals, you'll not have any issues whatsoever. But any minute now it will go live, and as soon as it does, I will let you know. So
yeah, the guys will. I know they'll be in there. If you're there at the keyboard,
they will. If you're there looking for it online, you're not seeing it, don't worry, it will be there at any moment. I'll let you know when that happens. Okay, I love that we can do that, Joe. It's just, you know, just alter it now, right now, sort of while we're literally on air, and get it up to speed so that you can access it again. So yeah, just laying some of that colour down. As I say, I've just picked a couple of colours that match that paper pad, and we're going to go a little bit darker for his little jacket here. He's cute, isn't he?
They are so cute, honestly. And I think the fact that you've got the dies to go, I mean, it's not a difficult shape to cut out with your scissors, but I just think, you know, if you've got the dies there as well, then it just makes life easy, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It
Little
does.
shoes at the bottom.
Nice to see stamps, dies and stencils as well.
Yes.
Not something we see a lot of, Jan,
No, it's
but it
not.
makes total sense now, doesn't it?
It does. I'm going to bring the stencil in now just to show you what I mean. So again, just a bit of colour going on there, just flat colouring. And then you've got a choice of either the stripes, so you could add stripy elements to him. You've got little dots and you've got some hearts here. So I'm going to go with the stripes. And again, I've picked a couple of colours out of my ink pads that match those colour tones again. And I've taken the respective finger daubers to go with them. And what I'm going to do is lay that stencil over the top here. And it's all been designed so that it fits perfectly over the little image that we've got underneath. And then I'm going to use that turquoise one first. So this is parakeet.
The elves have worked very quickly.
Oh, have
Jan.
they?
They have. We're just double checking, but we believe it should be good to go right now. So if you couldn't find it before, have a little look and you should be good to go. They're very fast, those elves.
That's
at the moment,
amazing, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
Literally as we speak. And then I'm going to take the purple. So I've got damson wine going on there. And I'm going to pop that through the base there. And because all my inks are water-based inks, the stencil will just clean up when we've finished, either with a little piece of wet kitchen paper, or it could be a baby white, whatever you prefer to use. But when we actually take this away now, you can see that it's added just that little bit of extra detail there onto that gorgeous. This is cute, isn't it?
Oh, so adorable.
I just think he's adorable. So let's just pop those onto here, and we'll take a little bit of tape and we'll pop him through. I've actually got the Gemini out. These will actually, all these little characters and things will fit through your mini, but all the dies are made so that you've got the cutting element on the inside there. It's about halfway in the die. So just what I tend to do is make sure that I can see the whole of my image through the centre of the die there, and then tape it in place, because you know that that's going to keep it there then. And then I'm just going to trim off that excess that we don't need. And you can see that this would easily fit through. In fact, let me just grab, because I've got it just on the side here. We'll just grab that little mini. Because it's just an outline die, he's going to fit beautifully through there, look. Okay, pass it through there, and you can sit and cut these out. You can sit and colour of an evening. I couldn't think of a better way to spend an evening. And again, you've got that lovely little character there to play with on your designs. Beautiful. So that's the process, and that works for a lot of the stamps and dies. So again, I've got some of those ready. I'll show you what I've actually done in preparation. So I'll pop that to one side. So we've got the little guy there. Whoops. Okay, let's pop them on the white so that you can see there. And then in that same set, you've got that lovely toadstool. So we've actually stamped this one and coloured one, and I've had a little bit of glitter just to the little spots on the toadstool there. And I've also, and this is actually one of the sets that's sold, but I know a lot of you guys have already bought this, so you'll have the boy gnome in there already. And in that particular set, there's just the little star. So those were the elements that I'd chosen to work with my, my selection today. So let's just pop these together. Basic card blank, which I think is a 6 3/4 square, fit nicely into a 7-inch envelope there. And then we're just going to use the tape run. I've made sure I've got plenty of tape today, Joe, because I always end up running out of tape, don't I?
You do. They wait for you, don't they? They save
wait
themselves
until I
up for
come
the
here.
show.
So I had a look and I thought, no, the one that I'd got in my bag was not, there wasn't much left on it. I thought, right, we'll change it for one that's got some tape in there. So depending on how much sticking we're doing, we'll see whether it lasts through the 2 shows. So again, just simple matting and layering there, 1/4 of an inch increments just to show those mats and layers there. My piece of ribbon's not obvious, but I'm going to put a little bow on as well, so I wanted it all to match. And then I've got my second piece of coordinating paper that we're going to pop on the top. And we've got the foam pads. I'm getting wise to this now, Joe. Look,
You got it. You nailed it.
I've sort of started them off,
right,
so that they can't get the better of me. And we're going to pop that one just to one corner. But before I do that, I've stamped out one of the, I think this comes in with the the boy gnome. It says sending Christmas cheer. And what I want to do is slot this one as if it's popping out of the top here. So we'll decide where that one's going to go and just tack it down lightly. And then what I want to do, I'm just going to leave my pokey tool under there for a second. We'll pop some glue on this one, and then I want to just slot this so that that sentiment's peeping out of the top here, like that. Okay, so that's that one in there. So that's the main sort of mats and layers. Not quite straight, Jan, but nearly. And then we're going to build up that little scene. So we've got the lovely little toadstool going on. We've got, in fact, we'll have toadstool over there. And then we've got, he's going to be Dad. And then we've got the little guy here with Dad. And then I'm going to pop the star in the top there. And then I've just stamped out from this particular set, which is the little child one, it says have a magical Christmas just here. So I've just stamped that out again onto a piece of that Nina card, and we're going to pop that one across the bottom just here. So I just need to stick those down. I'm just going to flick to my tacky glue just to pop those down flat. You could actually put them onto foam pads again if you wish, or you can use your 3D glue gel, your hot glue gun, whatever your preferred method. And then we can get these into place just to give it that lovely little quirky scene there. I've added elements of glitter just to certain bits. It's on the little bell on his hat there. I've got it on the star. And then I've put a bit of glitter on the top of the little toadstool house as well. So again, we're going to pop him there with Dad. We're going to pop that little toadstool, just give that a little bit of shaping. In fact, I might shape that one and put that one on with some, I've got my glue gun on. So we'll pop a little bit of hot glue in there just to give it a bit of shape.
Lots of people getting deliveries today, Jan. Loads of people in the comments are letting me know of all
the
wonderful things that are being delivered to them.
I've seen some on Facebook already on social media where people have actually been started making things with them. But if you have had a go with it, like Joe says, send us some pictures. We love to see what you guys have been up to out there. So we like to try and give you some inspiration here, but we learn from you as well. You know, look at things, say, oh, I've not tried that before. Okay, so we're just going to pop the little sentiment in the corner there, and then the last bit just to finish off, I've got a little bit of ribbon left over from the side there, just made a little bow, and we're going to pop some hot glue on the back of that one, and then pop that on there. Now awesome. Then, shall we? Oh, Georgina's in my ear, our producer Georgina, she's like, I just wonder, and I just happen to have, George, I've got some here. So shall we put a little bit of fake snow on his beard?
Oh, look
yes, please. I can't believe this. Just look at this.
The size of the bag that you get.
This is huge. You could actually decorate your garden with this, couldn't you? Just look. Honestly, I'm going to go mad at Christmas with this. So you're tempting fate now because I've got my fan on, George.
Oh,
I could end up, I might look as if I've got a beard by the time we've finished here. But what I'm going to do is use that acrylic glue there. We're going to use this one. And just fill in very lightly over his beard. Because the glue dries clear, okay, this could go terribly wrong, you know.
He's obviously been working out in the blizzardy conditions, this elf, I reckon. He's gnome even, he's not an elf, is he? I've got elves on the brain today.
So I'm just going to sort of scribble, I'm not being too careful with it, but just scribble the glue. Keeps getting, my nozzle keeps getting blocked in there, I don't know why. Need to have a little look. I'll have a look between shows and get it sorted. We've just got the foam pads mastered, and now this is, here we go. So yeah, the glue dries clear, so don't be afraid to pop that in there. Okay, all over his little beard there. And then I just happen to have, somewhere in my bag of tricks, like you do, little spoon in my gubbins, yeah. I've got a little spoon in there, and I'm just going to pop it all over there like that. Okay, and then let's just tap the excess back into that bag. Just bear with me a minute, guys, while I try not to get it everywhere. I've lost my star because I hadn't stuck it down. My star,
you'll find that in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere, not to worry. But look, just look. Let's see if our George can come and get a close-up for me. Look at that. If I hold it here, he's got a little snowy beard there. That was brilliant. Yeah?
How gorgeous.
How simple was that, though?
Really awesome.
And not even planned. Actually gone rogue there. That was a brilliant idea, Georgina. Love it. So I'm just going to dust off those. There's a few little bits there. Just sneak it in, but just with a dry brush, they'll dust off your project. But I just think that's a lovely little touch there just to add to it. And I will find my star. I'd forgotten I'd not stuck the star in. It's in here somewhere. Somewhere, I don't know. We'll find it.
Your star, you'll find your star sometime, probably Christmas next year by the time you get through that bag, to be honest. It'll turn up at some point. Right, let me take you back through what you are getting included. Now, just to be clear, this is the bundle that we currently have available for you. If you want the biggest collection you're going to be able to get your hands on this Christmas, then this is it, because what will no doubt happen after this is we will continue to lose further elements. This is what you're getting in this particular bundle. So you're going to get the Gnome Child. You're also going to receive in here the Kissing Gate. I'll give you the details, so the individual details will come up as well as we go through them for you. So this is the Kissing Gate with that lovely little festive scene there. I love the lamppost. You've got the holly in here, and of course the mistletoe in there. You also get the embellishing stamps as well in the holly and the mistletoe. So if you wanted to decoupage those up, definitely an option there for you. Then we have the Gnome Village, which is this one just here. You've got that brilliant toadstool there in die form, but then also the stencils, which are going to enable you to add those extra touches and elements for you. Then this is your Gnome Home, and in here a beautiful stamp set, really perfect. If you love your alcohol colouring, you're going to really adore this, and you've got sentiments within there as well to really help you finish those off. Next up here you've got the Gnome Snow Scene as well, which is fantastic. A really gorgeous embossing folder, adds so much detail in there. I could see a couple of those little characters there in that little aperture. Then we're going to move on to the acetate and vellum that you'll get included in here. So you're going to get 3 sheets of each. So you've got the acetate there in the flurry and in the snowflakes, and then you're also going to get the vellum in the 2 same designs there for you as well. So you can see you'll get 3 of each of those 4 designs, which is awesome. And then we're going to move into the cardstock for you. So you're going to get the luxury card pad. You'll get it in the double-sided pearlescent cardstock, which is 250 GSM, this one here. And you can see you've got it in those beautiful 4 colour tones. And it really does. It really has an amazing amount of shine to it, which is fantastic. The next one you've got then, of course, is your card pad too. And the cardstock in here is absolutely beautiful. Some gorgeous designs. You've got patterns in here. You've got some sentiment-based designs in there as well. You get all of those. I think you get 2 of each of here, if I'm not mistaken. And then what we've got as well is your designs here too. So you're going to get absolutely all of them. Now, if you want all of that, that is the best way to get the best value, of course. It is available right now for you as well. £60 or $80. You've got a great saving on there. Platinum members, of course, you can get this for £48 or $64 today if you want to grab a hold of that. Now, you've seen Jan using it there just a moment ago. We do also have the faux snow available for you. This is going to be excellent, I think, for adding to so many different projects, not just your card making. Of course, you can add it with adhesive, as you've just seen Jan do there. But it's also, I think, going to be great for window displays. You're going to be able to sprinkle this all over your Christmas trees. There's going to be loads that you're going to be able to do with that just there. $11.99 or $14.95 if you want to get that. 3/4 though of this one has already sold out and gone. So if you do want to get your hands on that one, you will need to be quick. Right, now up next I want to take you to the 3D scene builders. Now these are fantastic because they make this awesome concept. I'm going to show you the concept they make as they were intended, and they make these really sort of cute 3D, sort of almost like theatre cards is the best way to think about them. You get everything you need in the collection to put these together. You are also getting the storage in here as well. So you've got die and stamp storage included to enable you to store these. Within this particular bundle, you're not actually paying for the dies, well, you're not paying the full price for the dies, and you're getting the storage included free of charge as well, which is excellent. So you can see that beautiful the beautiful projects you're able to create with those. Let me show you the boards, and I will you'll get a clearer idea of exactly what it is that you're getting. Now, I know that the worker die is on all three of these boards. The worker die is coming included with the first one you see here, which is Oh Christmas Tree. When I talk about the worker die, I'm on about these two elements here and the stays at the side. What you're also getting then are the presents in the tree within here. You get the two different banners, the star, and you're getting the stencil in there. Stencil has 4 different images within it, so it's something you're going to be able to use brilliantly with the collection and also away from the collection as well. Then we move forward into this one just here. So what you've got here, of course, is the ability to build this scene in, which is fantastic. You get the little banner, you get the star in here, and you get the 3-piece stencil within there too. And then finally, you're going to receive this one just here, which is your Christmas village, which is awesome. And the Christmas village, it's quite Bavarian, isn't it? Really lovely, like going away to a cute little Christmas market somewhere. So they're the dies that you're getting in there. And then you will, as I said, also get the storage in here too. So you'll get the Totally Tiffany fab file, you'll get the magnetic panels, and you'll also get the stamp storage pockets within there as well. We've actually given you a discount on the dies and included the storage in there at no extra charge as well. So it really is a fantastic collection, that one. These are brilliant, Jan, I think, because even if you just use them in the concept they've been designed for, absolutely worth every single penny. £32 or $38.40 for Platinum members. But definitely the abilities to bring bits and bobs of these into other things, I think, is the exciting bit, really, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, I think the possibilities with this, Joe, are endless. Honestly, I was watching Sarah yesterday when she launched them, and she did lots and lots of different ways of using them. I think the idea of them in the dome is really unusual. You know, it's sort of not something I've seen around before in crafting. And, you know, this could actually be sort of a little gift in its own right. You could actually incorporate it into a, you know, another stand if you wanted to. It could just be a topper to put on top of a card and it would still look superb. But then if you want to watch the launch show back yesterday with our Sarah, she had loads of different ideas for different ways to use them. Now we're actually going to start off with just the dome shape to show you, if you weren't watching yesterday, just to show you the concept. And then later on, if you can join us again later in the next show, we're going to use them in a different way then. So just for now, we're going to use them and make that dome shape card. So I'm going to use the Christmas village, but the actual concept die comes with the Christmas tree. So if you are only available, you know, if your budget only allows you to get one of them, then go for the Christmas tree, because this has actually got the concept die that you will need to actually make those beautiful domes. The others just come with the extra pieces in. So although we're going to use this one to layer up and make the little Christmas village scene, I do actually need to start with this one, because I want these pieces out of here that are going to build up that concept. So I'm just going to take these off the card there, and I need the outline die. If I put that onto a piece of cardstock here, you'll see what I mean. So we've got that lovely dome shape there. And then also inside here, you get the extra pieces to create that frame. So I've got here the inside shape. Whoops, I'm stuck to my packet. Inside bit here, which is just going to create that lovely little frame for you. So first of all, I'm going to cut out these blank shapes. I've got some already done, but I want to cut one in white, and I've got a piece of our Pacific Centura pearl there, which we're going to incorporate into the design as well. So these will fit on your junior plates, or if you've got the midi, they'll go through the midi. So I'm literally just going to pop this on here. I don't really need to worry about taping it, because it is just the outline that I'm after. So pop those in between my Gemini plates, pass those through there, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on the green piece as well. And then I've already got one cut in the white as a third one. So you're going to need 3 altogether. So we've got one there, we've got a second one there, and then I need to swap out that die to go on my green piece of Centura pearl, and we'll do exactly the same again. So you've got the 3 pieces, and that's the main construction to do that lovely sort of dome shape that we were talking about there. You can see in the side, if I hold this up sideways, you can see where we've got those 1, 2, 3 sections in the side there, which is how it's actually been planned out. So the third one there is going to be my Centura pearl there. So we've got the 3 that we need going on there. And then I can pop that worker die, still in there, back on the sheet so that we don't lose that one. And then instead of taking the Christmas tree element out of here, I'm going to use that extra dome piece, but I'm going to swap this one out for that lovely Christmas village scene, all right? And they all work the same way. They've all got the die cutting edge in it, which joins up with the semicircle for the dome. But this time I'm actually going to take some of these out. So on the green one there, I just need to take the one with the tree elements, and we're going to pop this inside here and then marry it up with this one. So I want to position it, so bring my plate back into work on.
Guess it's really worth taking your time with this bit, is it?
Yeah, I think this is where your tape will come in really handy, Joe, because the last thing you want is a wonky dome. So just make sure that everything's in the right place. All right, so I'm just going to pop my tape on there at the ready, and then literally pop this one so that you've got a nice little frame, and you'll see where that fits. There's a sort of an indentation where it's actually pressed in the die here to give you a guideline. Bring that down to the bottom and centre that one, and I'm actually going to tape that one down inside the dome because it's going to cut away this piece inside. And then this one is made to just fit along that edge and join up with it. So you see here, it's just joined either side. So as long as those dies aren't overlapping, we're good to go.
Awesome.
Now, if you don't feel so confident with it, if you're just starting out, cut the one first and then add your sealing, or vice versa. You know, you don't have to do them both together. So pop those those shims in again, just an ordinary thin metal die, and then we're going to pass that one through the Gemini. Now I've got my big Gemini out with the junior plates. You know that that's my preferred combination. That's what I use at home. I've usually got my big Gemini sat on the desk, but nearly always, wherever possible, I use those junior plates. So we'll take this one out and pop those to one side, and then when we take these away, I'm just going to peel that one out. If they don't quite meet, if they don't quite join up, we've just got our little snips at the ready to just release it. So just be gentle, because you've got all that lovely seam going on in there, and I can just see at the bottom where it's not quite met up. So I'm going to pull that tape off.
With these, Jan, as well, I mean, you can use these as an edgeable, can't you? In anything you want
absolutely.
to.
Essentially,
sort of a mini edgeable.
That's what these parts are, Joe. You're spot on there, yeah. So these parts that are cutting in the shapes, you know, that would look lovely just as, you know, an element on the top of a card.
Yeah.
Or it could be across, you know, if this was your card's shape here, you could have that sort of fold open halfway with this on the top. Or you could stagger them. You could have this one and then the houses. Lots, again, you've heard me talk about this before, I like things that have got more than one choice with them. So just where they've not quite met here, I'm just going to take my little snips in and snip that out with the scissors, because they're lined up perfectly. All right, and then this part is actually the waist. But just look at the detail there.
So much lovely embossed detail as well.
Yeah, even down to all the little windows. We get our Georgian on here again. You can see the church here, all the little windows are cut in, it's got a little doorway, you've got that lovely house, and then the fir trees on that level. And then we're going to do exactly the same on one of the white pieces with the little houses. So I would actually, and I've got this one cut already so that we don't spend too much time, because I want to show you the construction as well. But again, line this one up just like we did before, pop your little row of houses using that line at the bottom as a guideline, and actually pop this in here, and then pass that through your machine, and you will get exactly the same there as what we've just done, but you'll get those lovely row of houses in there. So again, if we pop that against that green there, you can see they're absolutely gorgeous. They look like chalets, Swiss chalets, some of them.
They're like a bit Bavarian, I think.
Like sort of skiing village or something like that.
Like going to Salzburg for Christmas market in the winter, that's what I think of.
So let's have a look then. We need our back piece. Okay, we've got that one. I'll just pop those to one side for a second. We need our next piece, which is going to be the little house, the church on the hill with the fir trees, and then this one's going to build up in front of it. Now if you want to make this flat and actually use it as a card front, you could do that. The way this is constructed is that we're going to have a gap between each of these to give it some dimension. But before I do that, you also get in with your dies a stencil as well. So we could have a starry night in our background. This one's just got lots and lots of little dots in for the stars. We've got a mountain range there, which is the one that we're going to use. And then you've also got those lovely sort of pine tree collection going on as well. So all I'm going to do here is pop this one across again with that line at the bottom here. Pop it across here and just pop a bit of ink through that stencil. Now if you don't want to get ink further up through that other part, I'm just going to use a piece of that low tack tape and just mask off that area, because I don't trust myself not to get giddy and end up with it all in the top there. So I've taken some emerald, smoked emerald, which is one of the water reactive dyes, and I've got my sponge applicators at the ready, and we're literally going to pop that one through that stencil, just to give sort of an idea that there's something going on in the background there. So just pull it down from the stencil, blend it through, and this is stamping card that I've used because it's a little bit better construction weight for sort of anything that's a building 3D sort of
What
thing.
would you normally use for just inking, Jan?
To be honest, I use stamping card a lot. For the actual stamping and colouring, I do prefer Nina cardstock. And if I'm using my watercolour mediums, I'll use watercolour Joe. So it depends what I'm actually wanting the finished sort of effect to be.
Okey-doke.
But just for this one, as I say, the stamping card works there. And then just to fill in the background of this, if I take the stencil away now, and we've got low tack tape on there, that one will just peel away nicely. And pop that to one side, and then I'm just going to bring in some baby blue, and we're just going to fill that top section in as if we've got some sky going on there.
Very busy on these, has been. I know we featured these in the wake up call this morning. They were very busy. They're continuing to be very busy again now. I think a lot of you singing. I think, you know, we've had some amazing Christmas launches, Jan, but we've had some incredibly great value. You know, the price points have been amazing.
They are.
£32 or £38.40, not only to get the dies that are going to enable you to create this incredible concept, but embellish lots of the other concepts that you're going to want to be creating. And you're also getting that storage included as well. You're actually getting a discount on the dies plus the added storage as a bonus too. So it's a phenomenal, phenomenal offer. And I think they're just one of those, because it is a new concept, it's always fun to have a new concept, isn't it, Jan?
It is, it's sort of something to play with, isn't it? Yeah, and each time you make it, I think, if you're like me, you think, if you be doing anything, actually, what about if I tried this? Or, oh, I could work it with that. And then start thinking about what you could bring in from your own collection that would work with something. So you can see now how we're sort of starting to build up that scene. We've got those mountains in the background there. Then we've got our little village scene. All right, so in order to put it together, in that main concept die, so we started out with the Christmas tree one that had that lovely builder shape in there. You will also see we get the little rectangular piece with the score lines in, and the little piece here that's got the two squares. And then there is a repeat of this one because you will need two of them. So because we've got the space in there, we've actually given you two so that you can cut them at the same time. And they're actually going to cut out, I've kept all these together so that I didn't lose them. They're going to cut out the pieces that we need to actually fit it all together. So let's just have a look what we need there. So I've actually done two of this one here. So you can see there's one there, there is one there, and then this one cuts out the two squares. I think one of them's hiding in my packet. Nope. It's hiding somewhere. There it is, look. I knew I'd done two. So you can see how those little pieces fit from there. So we're going to need those to actually pop it all together. So let me just tip those back out of there. So those were in that main concept die with the Christmas tree. All right, so what's going to happen then? These are actually little slits in here. The machine's actually cut like a little slit in the card here. So you've got 3 slits in here, and we just happen to have the 3 pieces. All right, so we're going to take the background one. I think that one, the one I did at home, was a little bit fainter, I think, than that one. No, I like the dark one. We'll go with the dark one. All right, so we've got a fold line on here. I'm just going to bend that both ways, just to give that card an instruction that we want it to move. And then we're going to pop it through the end of one of these little slits.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to put one on one side, and you can see how that just fits in there nice and snug. And then I'm going to put the other one, and I've gone in the end little slit there and pop that one through, whoops, into the back there. So that's the beginnings of our scene there. Just keep these to one side for a minute. Then we're going to take that next layer, which was our Centura Pearl layer, and again, just give these a little fold both ways to get them into habit of learning that they actually need to move. And then this one's going to pop through that next slit here. So this is the middle one in that little tiny piece that we cut out. So just to pop that one through there. And then again, we're going to do the same into this side.
Very busy on these.
See that this actually starts to build the dimension. So let me just fold, what I'm going to do is fold this one round the back so that it doesn't slip back out again. So pop it through there, whoops. And then I'm just going to fold it backwards on itself so that it doesn't slip back through. And then we're going to do the same at this side through that middle piece. And again, just fold it round the back so that it stays in place. So you can see you've got that movement in it then, and I'll show you why we need that when we've got that last piece in. And then we've got our white one. So again, just fold those little tiny tabs on the score line that the dice put in for you. And then this one, as simple as that, is going to fit through that last little slit. So one at one side, and then we're just going to fold that one back on itself again so that it stays in place. So you can see, if I lift this up now, you can see that I've got, that was the first one we put in. This is the green, the Centura Pearl layer, and this is the front one. So you created those 3 little tabs fitting through, and then we need to do the same on the one at this side. So I've just got one little slit left in the front of there to pop this through, and then fold that one back, and again you can see that 1, 2, 3 layers on there. Okay, excellent. So we've got our scenes together, and then when we actually push these open, you can see now that we've got that depth going on with the first layer here. I've got the second layer, and then the background layer. And then the little squares, if you fold everything together now, all right, back on itself so that it's all together, it creates that little tiny square that you can then put this over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my 12mm red line tape, which is just the right size for this, and I'm going to put a little piece on here ready to receive those little tabs, and all it does is secure it all, so you've got a bit of strength there, and it neatens it all up, because we don't want to see all those little tabs on the side of the card. It's a nice way to sort of hide them, but you also know that everything's secure and they're not going to slide about if you're putting this in an envelope or something like that. So again, take the backing off those ready. So we've got one there and a second one there. Oops. And then again, as I say, if you just fold these onto themselves and then fold the last bit round there, and then you'll see that these bits are just the right size to fit on the top there and cover it all nice and neatly. So you've got that little bridge going on inside. And then I'm going to do exactly the same here. So we've got those pieces from the original bit still stuck out there. Oops, I've just lost a bit there. Let's just pop that one back through. This is why it's better to have that piece to secure them all at the end there. All right, and then when they're all in place, fold them in, fold it back on. Oh, that one doesn't want to play. Stop it. Oh.
You having a chat with it?
I'm having a chat with it. It's been listening to my phone pads, hasn't it?
It has. It's been.
Honestly.
I think they've been colluding against you.
Yes, they have. Oh my goodness, there we go. Right, I've got it in place. fold that one back on itself. So fold them down until you've got that little square shape, and then literally we're going to pop this one over the top. Right, they're all sealed in now, so you can see now that we've got that lovely sort of shape there. So that's the basis of how they actually work. And then when you decorate them up, we've actually got a little shooting star on the back of that panel as well that you can cut out. So that comes with it. And then I've just popped a little bow and a bit of glitter on the top of the mountain range there, just to add a bit of detail. So this is where we got to with the one that we've just put together to show you the construction, and then a little bit of added embellishment there. And you can do as much as you want. You know, you could use that faux snow again on there if you wanted, on the top of the mountains would look good. But I just think they're a really fun way of doing something. And I say that's the dome. And then if you can join us later at 7 o'clock, I've got another one of these that I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it in a different way so that it's not just a freestanding dome. Okay,
awesome.
Bit of fun, Joe.
Very, very busy on these. They were busy when we launched them yesterday, very busy in the wake-up call today, and they continue to be busy now. Let me take you again through what you're getting. So you're getting 3 different die sets within here. So you're going to get Oh Christmas Tree, which of course has got your Christmas tree and your presents in here. It also has the worker element, as you can see. So they are all available individually. If you were going to go for one individually, you'd have to make it this one, because then the other 2 elements, of course, are the extra interchangeable section. So within here, what you're getting is you're getting the two scene builders, almost, if you will. Away in a manger, this one is. You've got that wonderful nativity scene. You've got the star in here. You do get stencils within each of them as well, which is brilliant. This one just here as well is your Christmas village, and what you're going to get here is that wonderful Christmas scene that Jan has just showed us, and then those 3 stencil, 3 sort of stencil elements within the one stencil that is in there. £40 or $48. Now, the dies on their own are worth more than that individually. However, what you get in this bundle is, and this is the same launch offer that we brought to you, you will get the fab file, and you'll also get the magnetic panels and the stamp storage as well in there. So you're going to be able to store all of these beautifully, or use these for some of your other stamps and dies. It's up to you. You're getting them as a freebie, essentially, which is awesome. Who doesn't love a freebie? So definitely take advantage of those. There is a craft along coming for these as well, I believe. I'll find out when that is for you. But very, very busy on them. Lots of you are very excitedly awaiting those, which is fantastic. I haven't said hello to anyone yet today, you know. We're nearly an hour in. I haven't done my hellos. Valerie says hi from Southern California. Suzette saying hi. Who else is here? Cheryl, Alison in Brooklyn. Deborah's in from California. Pamela's in New York. Shelley in Michigan. Teresa's in I can't say that one. Illinois, I'm going to go with. Peoria. Peoria? I've butchered that. I am. That's the one. P-E-O. Peoria. There we are. Thank you, Georgina. Patty saying hi from Michigan. Spider's Corner saying hi from the UK as well. And again, lots of you receiving goodies this week. If you've been making things with any of the recent collections, as I said earlier, send some pictures in. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those pictures of your makes. What I want to do is give you an opportunity to check out. A lot of you have jumped on these scene builders and also the Gnome collection. I'll give you an opportunity to check out. Once you do that, here's how to shop, but also all the details of Club Inspire.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Very, very busy in the shows. We knew it would be. I know a lot of you maybe missed out on some of these products when they launched. We've had so many amazing Christmas launches so far, so many still to come for you as well. And I think the great thing is about them, all the Christmas launches pretty much that we've seen so far, incredibly versatile, which is brilliant, and all kind of a little bit unusual as well, which I think you guys have absolutely loved. Now we're going to move on to something else in a moment, but before we do, I want to recap for you the Christmas tree stamps that myself and Jan had the pleasure of launching a few days back. Now I want to take you through them. What I love about them is they're all in the same style, but they've got a differentiation. What was that word, Jan? I tried to say there. A differentiation. That was a really poor choice of English there. They've all got their own unique style when it comes to the font and the sentiment. That was what I was trying to say, Jan. I know. And what you're going to receive in here, you're going to get the Holly Jolly Christmas. So, oh by golly, have a Holly Jolly Christmas. This one is the most wonderful time of the year. Then you've got Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 'Twas the night before Christmas. This one is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. And you're then going to get these two. Now, Season's Greetings. This one here, Crafters TV Crafters Companion exclusive. You won't get this one anywhere else. And also, May your days be merry and bright. This also only available directly from us here at Crafters Companion. So if you want to get all 8 of them, you will need to grab them from us here at Crafters TV. Now we're going to move on to the Centerpiece dies. These are fantastic. I'm going to take you through the concepts here with these. You've got 6 different designs in here, which is brilliant. Now you're going to get all of them, of course, in this launch collection that we've got for you. So you can see here exactly some of the things that you've got. Now they are, of course, a centerpiece, but I mean, you'll see just from the sheer volume of different things that have been done with this concept suite, the amount of things that you can do with them. Shakers, they're going to look great in. They're going to be brilliant in boxes. If you've already got quite a lot of vellums, you're going to love using those together with them. Here's the holly one as well. Craig made a very interesting card with the holly one earlier. Had a bit of a slip up, some might say, if anyone was watching the earlier wake up call. We had to move on very, very swiftly, Jan.
It wasn't another handbag go, was it?
No. He had an unfortunate moment with some holly berries.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and a branch is all I'll say. But again, look at the different things that you can do. Cutting these on in a simple side opening card, they're going to look fantastic. Of course, and this one here as well. What I love about these is all of that detail that's cut in there, but I think it's amazing that it still supports its own weight, the card. So that really is down to the designers that we have here at Crafters Companion that are able to design these cards, but have them so as they still support their own weight. I think that one is absolutely amazing. A Z-fold card with all that detail cut into there as well. This one here is awesome. It's like an illusion easel card, that one, Jan. How amazing is that?
We're going to use that bauble one in the demo.
You've also got things like your diorama. They're going to look beautiful on. And you know what you've got there, Jan? Oh, some great opportunity to craft.
I wasn't going for it today because I got it wrong, didn't I, on Sunday?
Oh, you did. Some great opportunity
I picked the wrong saying.
To get crafty in there as well. And things like your double Z folds. I mean, they are going to look absolutely stunning on those. Lots you can do with them. 6 different designs in there for you. I'm making a right old mess over here, Jan. Honestly, I've got stuff absolutely everywhere. 6 different designs in here for you, which is awesome. There's so much on this show that I'm really struggling to find any of the products on my notes, Jan. We've got so many things. So you're going to get opulent baubles, sprig of holly, cascading snowflakes, reindeer family, follow the star, 'twas the night. You will also get 12 sheets of the heat resistant acetate in there as well. Again, another fun concept, Jan, but something we can do lots of different things with.
There is, yeah. I mean, you've just shown there so many different ways, and there's probably even more than that. You know, we just give you an idea with that lovely concept suite of how you can use them, you know, because like I'm going to go sort of straight for the card this time on the earlier show, and then later we're going to use them in a different way. So we've tried to split products across the two shows today. So I'm going to use the opulent baubles to get started with, and I'm going to do the something that we sometimes forget about, I think, and this applies to most of our dies, is that you can die cut with them, you can emboss with them, and then you can also stencil with them. So we're going to do all three on this one because these baubles have got some beautiful embossed detail on them. So this is what comes to you in this particular one, and you've got that lovely sort of wavy panel in there with the baubles cut inside it. But when you check your dies out, if you have a good look at them, and the first thing I tend to do when I get anything new as far as metal is concerned is just cut them out of some scrap card just to see what they do. And you'll find on here that you've got lots of cut work elements where you can see all the die cutting edge on here that's going to cut that lovely filigree snowflake pieces out. But where the baubles are, you've got lots of open space with no cutting edge, and that's a dead giveaway that that's an embossing area. So this bit here on the baubles and all the details in this one, if you run this with your embossing mat, it's going to push the cardstock through these holes and emphasize it even more, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm actually making myself a 8 by 6 inch card. All right, so we've got 8 inches across, 6 inches down, and this is going to be the front of it. The size of our A4, I've had to put another piece to stick to the back of it because obviously we've not got the 12 inches that I needed. So I'm just going to work on the front to start off with, and we're actually going to tape this into place, and we're going to cut that detail out of one side here. Okay.
Lots of people loving these. Again, they've been very popular since we launched them, Jan. And again, a really amazing value, £32 or £32.80 or $40 for Platinum members to get a hold of these, and 6 different designs. Do you think there would be the opportunity to use more than one design on one project, Jan?
Don't see why not. I mean, this one lends itself. You've got that one in an upright formation, and the holly's the same, so you could do one at each side if you wanted to. If you were doing them on a box, you could do one on each of the 4 sides of the boxes. Absolutely, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap here on this side, and I'm just going to line this up and tape this gently. Take a little bit of the tacky off the tape there, and just tape this onto one side here, because I don't want that to move, and then the other side at the bottom. And again, this will fit through your Gemini Junior. All right, so we're going to pop this one on here. And then first of all, I'm going to cut. So I'm going to put my plastic shim in first, then the magnetic, and then my top plate. So we're going to cut all that detail first, pass that through the Gemini, and then I'm going to take my embossing mat, which is the lovely sort of rubber squishy one. And the job of this one, because it's squishy, is to push that cardstock into the design. So before I take anything out of the die, I'm going to flip it over, all right, and just move this off the edge.
You can see how beautifully that's cut, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely perfect, but I want it to stay in the die. And I'm going to pop my embossing mat over the top. And everybody always thinks, well, it's just going to cut out your embossing mat. But because we don't want it to cut, whenever I put the embossing mat in, I'm going to take out the magnetic shim. Okay, so there isn't enough depth in that sandwich for it to put the pressure on to cut. It is just going to emboss. And then I'm going to pass that through a second time, and it's going to push all that open space where those baubles were. The mat's going to push the cardstock into there. And I'm going to get our George in a minute again to come and have a look up close. So let's just take those layers out. Okay, and you can actually see on the back of there already what I mean with it. You can see the debossing on the back there where it's pushed that detail into the card. So let's just gently take that out of the die, and then I'll show you what I mean from the front. So I'm literally just going to roll this back off that metalwork, just to get rid of the tape, and the same at this side. And I find that rolling it is less sort of invasive than just ripping it off like a band-aid, so it doesn't actually do as much especially when you've had the embossing mat in, because you've applied that pressure twice from the Gemini. And then once you've got that free, just be careful because they are very delicate. Tip this one out, and then again, if you have a look, just pop that piece out there we go. Just look how that's actually, you can see there where it's embossed those baubles.
Beautiful,
yeah?
Lovely baubles.
So we've done the die, lovely baubles, Joe, thank you. We've done the die cutting, we've done the embossing, and now we're just going to pop this back in place here. Just wriggle it into place, yep. And I'm going to grab my little finger daubers again and just take that turquoise one. And I've worked on a turquoise theme, so I've picked that turquoise ink again. And again, if you're worried about getting this over the edge of the card, just mask it up either with some masking tape or your low-tack tape. But what I'm going to do now is actually push that ink through the die. Now it's not going to hurt your die, it'll just wipe off again either with a wet cloth or with a baby wipe. But just pushing this through here is going to highlight those raised areas that we've embossed with that coloured ink, and it just adds a really nice touch. You could actually do this with a sticky ink, so you could actually use one of your daubers with the sticky watermark ink and push that through here and then add embossing powder to these raised areas. You could actually use a little bit of your gilding wax. You might not even need to keep the die in place to use the gilding wax, because you could just sort of trace over the raised areas. But when we take that away now, you can see that lovely detail, but we've got the colour on top of there as well. So it just adds another element to your dies there. So I've actually done that ahead of time. I've done exactly that, and I've fastened it to the back piece of the card, and then I've just added a few little gems in place. Now just a little trick with this, what I found when I was putting this together, because I've joined two pieces of card, the strip that I've joined it together with here, this bit showed through my design.
Okay.
So all I've done is just snipped a piece out of that flap that I made and just substituted it with a little bit of acetate.
Okie doke.
So nobody's going to see the workings inside there. So now when I close it, you're not going to see the rest of that strip behind here. So that's all good to go. And then what I've done is I've taken some choice of paper, and I think this was from Santa's Kitchen again last year, this
Oh, you like that one, don't you?
I do. It's a really nice go-to pad for Christmas. It's got a bit of everything in it. There's that one, and then there's the forget the other one. There's another paper pad that came out last year that's a good one. Again, turquoise card from our 12 by 12. Those again are Reach 2 ones. And what I've done is I've used the edge of the die, when I cleaned it up and got rid of the ink off here, I've used the edge of the die to actually create the shape, and just drawn it with a pencil and then cut it round, and then made one smaller just to make the panels so that they actually follow that shape. And then I did the same with this one using the other side of the die. Just drew a pencil line onto my piece of card and then cut it with the scissors to actually make those designs to fit on either side. So what we're going to do now then is just pop those in place with the double-sided tape pen and get those mats and layers on. And again, I've just made 1/4 of an inch smaller than the other again. So I cut them straight to start off with, straight edge, use the die to get the shape, and then I've just lined them up with the other edge and trimmed them down so that I'd got the right size to just leave me that little 1/4 of an inch border then all the way round. Same with this one. This had a straight piece, used the die to create the edge, and then trimmed this side down to get the right depth for the mats and layers there.
So that's really handy, isn't it? You know, you're going to get the perfect edge every single time then.
Yeah. I mean, some of our dies have that extra cutting edge with it, but this particular one's meant to be that creator card, and it's a cut-in die. But this is just a way of getting those pieces to match that curve or the shape that's on the die there. So we've just got a little bit of decoration there. Then we've got this element here that we're going to see through into the back of the card. And then again, just simple sort of decoration. I've just chosen a stamp off to one of my Christmas stamp sets, and I've just stamped and embossed that with some embossing powder. That's going to be the focal point on here. And then I've got a nice piece of ribbon just to go with it. So we're going to pop that one on with some tape, if I can get that on the back, because it's got dimension. Yeah, we're good there. So this one's going to go about a third of the way down there. Yep. And then I've got my glue gun still on from earlier that we're just going to pop some hot glue. I think I need a new glue stick in there.
Rebecca makes a great point. I guess if you did want to cut the die out, she said, could you use a craft knife down the edge of the die, leaving it in place, Jan, if you wanted to take it out as a topper?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Or again, you know, you could use this piece, just move it away slightly, draw that line again to give you the guideline, and the same at this side, just move it slightly away so that you've left yourself a border. And yeah, you could actually make, you know, how nice, how would that look elongated to do it again and again down the side of a scrapbook page if we're doing a winter scrapbooking. Certainly something that's got the bauble theme involved in it. So again, lots of different ways. So that was my design on there. We turn that one around for you to have a little look at, and that's just one of those 6 centerpiece creations. But I just think the fact that it's got that lovely see-through element in there just brings a whole new sort of aspect to your cards.
Yeah, it really, really does. Let me run you through then the 6 again that you're getting in this particular collection. Again, great value when you look at what these can do for you. So you've got the opulent baubles, which are these ones just here. You'll then also have in here a sprig of holly too. This one here is your cascading snowflakes. I love these ones here with the gorgeous deers. You've then got your nativity scene in here as well. This is Follow the Star. And this one also going to get loads of use. I think this one, it is your 'Twas the Night as well. All 6 of those in there. 12 sheets of the heat resistant acetate also coming in there as well. $32.80 or $40 if you wanted to get your hands on that particular collection just there. Right, we're going to go back and I want to remind you about the gnomes. Have we had any Gnome pictures in yet, Georgina? Oh, we have. We're going to share some of those with you very, very shortly. Right, so let me run back through what you are getting in here. Now, I mean, this is the biggest collection you're going to get this side of Christmas on this. I know we're having a couple of sellouts in here. There's a really great succinct collection and an awesome price for you as well. I'm going to take you through what you're going to get in this particular collection. So you're going to get the gnome child in here. Now, this is great. It's that really cute little gnome character. You've got the toadstool in here. You also have the bunting in there too. The stamps are awesome. You've got the stencils in there as well. So really, really fantastic. That's your gnome child. You've also got this one just here, which is the kissing gate there, as you can see, which has got your mistletoe in there, the holly. You've got the embellishing elements to go with that too. Here is the gnome village. Now this is dies in here with corresponding stencils that are going to go alongside that for you as well. Next up is this one here. So this is the gnome home that you're looking at with that wonderful little toadstool home, the trees in there. You've also got sentiments available to you in there as well. This one here is your gnome snow scene. As you can see, and it's a wonderful embossing folder, loads of texture. Actually gives you a really lovely aperture there in the center that you're going to be able to use. Then we move on to the acetates and vellums that are coming in here. So you've got 2 vellums, you get 3 sheets of each of these. You've got the snow flakes and also the snow flurry, and then the same again for you there in the acetate. You've got the snowflakes and you've also got the snow flurry in there too. They're going to get so much use. In fact, if you wanted to go for any additional elements with some of those, everything is available individually if you wanted to add extras to your order. You're then going to get the luxury cardstock as well. So you're going to get the luxury pearlescent double-sided cardstock, and that's going to come in the 4 different colorways there for you as well that you can see, all perfectly matched to go with the main collection. And then what you've also got here is your pattern papers. So again, lots of different glorious designs in here for you to choose from. I think they're amazing. I just love how you've got some very classic designs and colorways in here. You've got some that are a little bit Scandi in there too. You're going to get all of those. I believe you get 2 of each of those and also 2 of each of these as well. £60, $80 gets you all of that. If you are a platinum member, of course, £48 or $64 is your price on that one there. Don't forget also about Tenner Tuesday, as I mean, that's not really what it's called, that's just what I'm calling it. There's a whole section of goodies over on the website that are available for £10 or $10, which is excellent. So especially if you're looking maybe to get yourself up to that free shipping threshold, then definitely get yourself over there and pop a few of those in your basket. There's some absolute bargains to be had. Something else that I want to tell you about, it's a buy two get one free on the legendary, the iconic metallic markers. These are amazing. There's so much you can do with these. They go onto so many different surfaces for you as well. Brilliant if you want a watercolour, great on glass, ceramic, loads of different surfaces. $23.98, $33.90 if you want to get those. We also have the Harmony pigment ink pads available for you as well. This is a traditional Christmas 6-pack there. Brilliant for all of your different Christmas crafting projects you want to do. How much of the stock's gone here, Georgina? 80% gone in there as well, which is awesome. Right, next we are going to move on to the die and stamp storage power pack is what you're getting in here. So what you're going to receive in here is you're going to get the fab file. You're also going to receive all the magnetic panels, I believe those are there as well. And you've got stamped storage pockets in there as well. Check out the details for that on the website. $22.43 or $25.83. Your Scrapmaster Scrap Organizer 5-pack. This is available to you in the show. This is brilliant for storing all of those embellishments and bits, gems that so many of us have. You know, you don't want to throw anything away, and rightly so, because it's definitely going to come in handy. This is going to enable you to store these and also to organise it beautifully as well. $17.67, $23.79 as a Club Inspire Platinum member. The Lisa Buddy Bag, this has been so incredibly popular. If you buy your 12x12 papers loose, or maybe you just get to the end of your pads, and you know what it's like, you've got 5 or 6 sheets in a pad, so it's never worth keeping the whole pad. This is brilliant because it is your 12x12 paper carrier, but it also has that hard shell in there. So if you're storing loose pages, it's going to keep them in absolutely pristine condition, which is awesome. Now the Christmas trees is where we're going to move on to now, which is these ones just here. Now myself and Jan had the pleasure of launching these a little earlier in the week. They are amazing. So what we've got here is oh by golly, have a jolly do you know why I've just got, for full disclosure, right, I've got to tell you what's happened. Tracy just brought me in a cup of tea, and I was so excited to see Tracy clutching a cup of tea that it's all gone to pot. So I mean, I am pleased you brought it in, Tracy, but it is your fault. I am sorry. Oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas is this one just here that you're going to get. Then you've got this one here. It's the most wonderful time of the year. We also have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Then you've got 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This one is exclusive, is it? Right, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is exclusive. We've also got Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Then you've got 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. This one's also a web exclusive. You've got Season's Greetings, and also May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. $23.95 or $33.36 if you want to go for these. These are awesome, Jan, aren't they? We had a lot of fun launching these.
We did have a lot of fun, and obviously me being me, I was trying to come up with something different that I didn't do on Monday for Sunday for you. So I was trying to think of something different. So hopefully I've come up with another idea that you can use them. And we're going to stamp them out today. We're going to add some embossing powder, and we're going to create an inverted easel card with them today. So I love this one. This is one of my favourites. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. We were talking about this on Sunday. I know we're not supposed to have favourites, but we all do, don't we? So we're going to stamp this one out, and I've actually got a piece of cardstock ready, and this is just stamping card that I have been playing with my inks on again. So this is all 3 shades of our lilac purple inks. So there was Pale Fig in there was Crushed Velvet and Damson Wine, and I've literally added the ink onto my craft mat and then just literally mopped it up with my piece of cardstock, and the stamping card will take that. If you want to use watercolour card, you can. I find that the stamps sit nicely on top of the smoother card. The watercolour card tends to have a slightly pitted surface, so whichever your preference is. So I've just got a piece that's big enough for the stamp to go on, because we're actually going to cut out the shape of the tree this time. So I'll bring in the stamping platform again. and secure that piece on the base there. So I tend to just line it up with the grid. Whether I need it to be straight or not, it's just a habit now that I line it up on there. Things have to be straight in my world. I have trouble with jaunty angles and things. And then just pop that one. These are beautiful photopolymer stamps, and just line it up in the centre. And I want to be fairly accurate with the centerpiece here, because I want to create like a triangular effect when it's cut out to create that tree. So I'm just sort of eyeballing that these pieces are in about the same distance there, and then we'll get that stamp onto the base. And then what I'm going to do, I want a nice depth of colour. So I'm going to start out with a quick dry ink, and I've gone for the darkest purple, which is the damson wine. And in the quick dry, the colours tend to be a bit more bold than what they are. This was the pigment inks that I've used on here. So you've got a stronger colour. So we're going to do a couple of layers in that lovely deep damson colour and build up some colour on it. Now, it's not easy, probably near on impossible, to actually emboss on top of your quick dry inks, purely because it does what it says on the tin. They dry quickly. So for that third layer, I'm just going to clean the stamp off and then use my watermark sticky ink so that that embossing powder will stick to it. Okay, so nice ink up there for that one. And then we're going to press that onto our chosen piece of cardstock. Make sure that all transfers nicely. And then we're going to do that a second time. You can see that lovely stamp there. I was worried about getting the ink on here because they're very juicy, but it's not transferred across. So again, I'm just going to do the same again. So when you're using the quick dry inks, they're on a sponge pad. Our water reactives are on a felt pad, which is quite hard. So this one, you just need a very light touch, otherwise it literally just squidges everywhere. And I do tend to be a bit heavy-handed, so I have to remind myself that you're just touching the surface there. And again, we're going to overstamp because we can, and build up that nice depth of colour there.
Alison's got her hands on these, so she's really excited for them to arrive. Lynn says, I just had a visit from Mr. Yodel. He bought me 3D Christmas ornaments. How nice of him. I think you probably bought them for yourself, Lynn, but he just delivered them to you. But it's like shopping twice, so it really is. So you're glad you got your hands on those, because they have gone now. Which is awesome. Janine just had a knock at the door, received her gnomes and the 3D ornaments. She says, she is one happy girl. Debbie says, just this second received the gnomes. Can't wait to play with them. Patty's got a delivery on the way. Sue says, hi Jan and Joe from County Durham, making the Christmas ornaments, which were delivered this morning. Yeah. Lots of people getting their fingers on things for the first time, Jan, which is always exciting.
It is, isn't it? When you open the parcels and it's like, right, where shall I start? What shall I do first? Right, I'm just going to get a piece to catch my embossing powder. Now I've just cleaned the stamp off so that I don't, basically to protect my watermark ink. It's not the cleanest. It's got a little bit of discoloration on it, but rather than going with that purple all over it, you will see that it has stained my stamp, and that's just the pigment in the purple and the pink inks. It doesn't damage your stamp. I quite like it because I'm a bit of a pink girl. It will just leave that little bit of staining on it. Don't worry about it if your inks do that. It's not going to damage your stamp. But now that's relatively clean, I'm going to take my watermark ink now, because I want something that's sticky enough to attract that embossing powder. It could have been the pigment ink as well. We could have used the damson wine pigment ink, because that stays what we call open, so it stays wet for a little bit longer. But the quick dry ink, you've seen me do it before where I've stamped and just literally run my hand over it. You're not going to get anything to stick to those very well. So just make sure we've got a nice liberal coating of that sticky ink all over that stamp.
Is there anything to stop you using the purple pigment ink pad? Is there any reason why you wouldn't use the purple pigment ink pad?
No, not at all. The only reason I've used the quick dry is because it's a wee bit darker. Okay. So I'm getting more bold colour over the top of the pastel ones. You could have used the opaque one as your last layer. Like I say, those stay open a bit longer, so that would work. I just happen to have my watermark one out on the desk, so I'm just going to do that last layer. So this is not going to alter the colour in any way, but it's going to make it sticky so that we can now add a layer of that embossing powder. So this is just clear embossing powder now, So it's going to sort of look a little bit foggy when we get this on here, but once we heat emboss it, you'll get that lovely purple shade back. So if there's anything where you don't want it to be, just a dry paintbrush will take off any excess bits of embossing powder, because it does tend to like sticking to everything. And then we'll pop that back so that my fan doesn't get hold of it and blow it everywhere. I did look as if I'd got a rough case of dandruff earlier when I'd had the faux snow. I looked at myself and I was covered in all little bits of white. Pop the lid back on there, and then I've got my heat tool at the ready. So we'll just get that warmed up. Again, biggest tip I can give you when you're heat embossing is to let that heat tool warm up so that you've not got it directed on the cardstock or the embossing powder for too long. So we just need to warm it up now until that embossing powder melts, and you'll see that lovely purple shade come back through. So I'm going to put my heat tool underneath just for the purpose of this. It doesn't matter whether you heat it from top or underneath, but you guys can see that turn then. So I'm going to start in the corner here. Just hold that slightly away from it so it doesn't scorch your card, and you'll see once the heat penetrates that cardstock, we'll start and get that lovely glossy. Can you see the purple coming back there now?
Is that definitely switched on, that heat tool, Jan?
It is definitely switched on. It's my lovely quiet one. It's been the butt of many jokes over the last few weeks.
It really has.
Producer Johnny loves it. They're all convinced that I'm just waving it about just for the sake of it. But you can see it's doing its job there. It's melting that powder. Once it's melted, move on to the next part. Don't hover over it for too long. You just need to melt it onto the surface there. And once you've done, away and turn that one off. And you can see now we've got that beautiful sort of sheen on there that catches the light. I just love that emboss. It never gets tiring. In all the years I've been stamping, I just think it's a really, really magical technique, and it just makes such a difference. Needs a few seconds just to cool down before you do anything with it, because it can still be a little bit tacky when you first just heat set it. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take, I've not brought my ruler again, but I'm sure we've got something that's got a straight side. What shall we use? I'll use a piece of cardstock. But what I want to do is sort of just, I'm going to go this way, take the bottom off here. And I want to cut out like a triangle shape. And so I'm going to go find the centre of that top bit, which is about there, and then literally just join these up to get like as near as I can. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, but I'm wanting the idea of that tree shape. So again, I've just taken it to that corner, and then we'll go from this side up here as well. So as long as you're not actually losing any of your detail off your stamp. And then just take your scissors, or you can use your guillotine if you wish. And then I actually cut inside the pencil line so that I'm cutting that pencil away, and then you don't have to worry about rubbing it all out afterwards. So just to take those sides away, and I would be saving those little side bits in case you want to make any embellishments to match. I've actually cut some snowflakes out again because we had snowflakes on that stamp. I've gone for the snowflakes as my embellishment. So just by trimming this down now, you can see we're creating that sort of shape and just enforcing the fact that it is actually meant to be a tree there. Okay, so those are all scrap, and we've got that one there, and that's exactly what I did at home. I've done exactly the same. And then I've mounted it on a little bit of our non-shed silver glitter card and just added a few little gems in some of those little snowflakes there. So you can see we've got exactly the same thing going on there, and that's going to be sort of the main focal point on my card. So just to show you the card, we have got what would be 5 3/4 inches by 6 1/2 inches. So 6 1/2 inches across, 5 3/4, and then I ended up with a little bit shorter bit here because I didn't like it too deep. But what I've done is I've folded it in half and scored it and folded it in half, and then I actually scored it in half again and folded it back. But I didn't like this so deep, so I've just trimmed the edge off it. And what we're going to do essentially, an inverted easel card means it's going to open up like this, and then we're going to have this piece on the front.
Oh, awesome.
To create the easel. So just before we do that, created some mats and layers, and I got a bit carried away with that. This is from that Nature's Garden Gnomes collection. I just love the colour scheme in that pad. So I've gone for silver miricard as my backing layer, and then this paper is actually the double-sided. You've got this on one side and then the little snow dots on the other side. So I'm going to use a bit of both. So I've got one layer for the inside here.
Khaki Blue says that her heat embossing has been coming out a bit bumpy when she's been using her watermark ink pad. Is there anything she's doing wrong, Jan?
When you heat from the top of the embossing powder, it can get like a pitted sort of look to it, and that is fairly normal with embossing powder. It almost looks a bit orange peely. If you use the heat tool from underneath, you'll get a much smoother sort of finish on the embossing powder. Other than that, it may just be the type of embossing powder. If you're using one that's got, I know some of the mixed media embossing powders have got really thick crystals in them because they're meant for covering, you know, canvases and pieces of MDF and things like that. So on a fine stamp like this, okay, you might find that it's not breaking down as much as it should do. So it could be the embossing powder, it could just be that technique. And I prefer, you've seen me use this, as I say, it's become a joke now, but I prefer this low heat one. The directional heat tools for me melt everything too quickly, and that's just me personally. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I know there are hundreds of people out there that use the directional ones that are a little bit hotter and they shoot the heat straight at it, but I like to do it gently and just take my time to make sure that it all goes nice and smooth. So just try those, try heating it. If you're doing it from the top, try heating it from underneath and see if it makes a difference. If not, just try a different embossing powder and see if that's the issue with it there.
Okie doke, hope that helps for you. Because some of them are meant to have that texture to them, aren't they? I know some of the Andy Skinner ones that we did recently, the whole point of them was that they should have texture to them, pitted texture to them. I guess it just depends on whatever it is that you are after, the kind of look and feel that you are going for.
So I'm just going to pop my mats and layers in, and then I was playing with the snowflake dies. I just had one left over there, so I've just used it and cut it in half and just use that as an embellishment, some on that inside layer, and then I've got a bit on this top layer just to add to the detail. So we've got a mat and layer on each of those three sections. Okay, and then this one is actually going to just stick in the center of that top section, so that when we actually close it, it's going to stand like so. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to sort of work out where that's going to sit, like there, and I just want glue in that one section on the back there. So plenty of glue on there. And then when this is open, decide how far up you want it, and decide, you know, I'm just going to center mine roughly in the middle of that top panel. And then once I've got that in the right place, I can commit to sticking that down. We're almost straight again. I've got everything on a bit on the wonk today. There we go. Okay.
Awesome.
And then because this is going to be an easel, we need something to stop this sliding. So I've just used some scraps of what was left over, bit of the miricard, bit of the glitter card, little strip of the paper, and made myself a stopper with some of the foam on the back. And we'll take those off. And that just stops that tree from sliding. So traditionally when we make an easel card, we make another panel to sit on the front of it, but this was just something a little bit different, and it folds flat when it's all done. So you can still pop it in an envelope, or if you want to pop it in a gift box. So once you've decided how far up this wants to sit, you can then actually pop your stopper, and I'm going to line it up with one of the lines on the paper there, just to make sure we're nice and straight. Okay, so you can see that that actually stops that now. And then just cut out, using my dies, some scraps of the paper, just to pop some detail. And I'm going to pop these, as I say, we'll use that hot glue again. And just pop these at the bottom to give it some detail there to correspond with that top bit. So we're going to pop one on there like so. And then the other one, just a little tiny dot of glue.
A lot of compliments on your colour matching. Alison says, I love how Jan matches up the patterns with cardstock. And also Michelle says, loving the plaid on this. I think we're seeing a lot of plaid, aren't we, at the moment? I know on the Gnome pad there was a lot of plaid in the Gnome pad, which makes sense. But it really is gorgeous. It's maybe not something we necessarily automatically think of using at Christmas. That looks absolutely beautiful, Jan.
And then it'll fold down flat for it to go inside an envelope, as I say, in the box. So just something a bit different again, something that we didn't do on Sunday when we launched them. So it was the night before Christmas, Joe.
And everything.
And all through the house.
And all through the house. I can't remember.
Nothing was stirring, not even a mouse.
Not even a mouse. There we are. Not even a gnome. Right, let me run you back through what you're getting in here then. Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas. Is this one just here? We also have It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Then you've got Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This one here is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Then you've got 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. Fa la 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 la. Then we've also got Season's Greetings. And you've got May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. Right, I want to remind you of some of the other stuff that you've seen on the show so far that you are absolutely loving. Don't forget about that $10 section over on the website. There's a whole host of different amazing products over there, including these colour blend pencils. Brilliant saving for you. £10 or $10. You can snap those up. Make sure you check that section of the website out. There's loads of different options here for you. Primaries, there's naturals, florals in there, essentials. They're all available actually for you, shade and tone. I mean, you could actually get yourself a full collection of those for £50 or $50. They're meant to be $34.95 for one. You could just like buy one, get four for $15 when you buy them over there. That's amazing value. The Christmas Floral Spray Stamp and Die Collection with 61 elements. You're going to be seeing this a little later today. I know Jan plans on sharing this with you in the launch party show. There is also an upcoming craft along with myself and Craig on Saturday. Make sure you join us for that. Brush Lettering Stamp Collection. This has been so popular since we launched it, myself and Jan. I believe it was Sunday. And it's really fantastic. The amount of different techniques you can do that with that is quite something. Now, I want to give you an opportunity to check out your basket. So whilst you do that, here's how to shop, but also the details of US shipping.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day.
all the details there on how to shop and also US shipping. Right, we're going to go back to some of the most popular collections you've seen so far. If you want your chance to get your hands on the biggest collection of gnomes that you're going to see this side of Christmas, then this is definitely it. Maybe it'll be the biggest collection of gnomes you ever see ever. I know we've had a couple of sellouts in the range, but the team worked really hard at the 11th hour before this show to put a new collection together for you. That's what we've done. £48 or $64 for Club Inspire Platinum members. All of these elements are available individually, I should say, too. So you're still going to get the gnome child in there. You are going to receive the kissing gate as well, with the holly in there, that beautiful ribbon, and also the mistletoe. This one here is your gnome village that you can see with that wonderful little toadstool there. And of course, you're going to get the stencils as well as the dies here. This one, this is your gnome home that you've got. Really lovely. I mean, crying out to be alcohol coloured, that one. And you've got sentiments in there as well as the images themselves. You've got a brilliant embossing folder here as well. It gives you a lovely aperture. I could see you making cards with pictures, maybe using that one, putting your photos into the centre of there. You've then got this, which is your acetate and vellum pack. So you've got the printed acetate with the snow flurry and the snowflakes, and then you've got the vellum as well in the flurry and the flakes too. I would definitely be popping extras of that into your basket. You get 12 sheets of that, and I think that could be one of those go-to things. I'm seeing, I think in the top of boxes and like, it's going to look awesome. You've then also got your luxury cardstock in here, so you're going to get it in the wonderful Christmas green. You've got that gorgeous red and also the purple there. It's kind of more like a lilac-y lavender, isn't it? And that lovely powder blue. You've then also got, of course, your printed card pad in here as well, cardstock in there, which is wonderful. Really colour matched, all colour matched beautifully to match with the main collection and also the luxury card that you've got in here. So you've got all the purple and blue tones in there, but then you've also got the lovely green and brown tones. And I think the thing is about that, one of these definitely a more traditional vibe, one of them a bit more of a sort of Scandinavian vibe, which is lovely. So depending on who you're sending these projects to, the kind of projects that you want to be creating with these, it's all there for you. If you want an extra one of the pads, details there at the bottom of the screen. They are all double-sided as well, which is excellent. Right, we are going to move back to, I want to share with you again, the seam builders. Now, these have been so popular. I'll quickly show you the concept these make. And then there's lots of other things that you can do. I know Jan's demonstrated these already in this show, but she's going to show something a little bit different in the next show. They do make these awesome this awesome concept for you, which you might have seen before. It's like a little sort of theatre card there. They're basically collections of sort of small legibles and then the worker die that goes with it. So you've got in here your nativity, you've also got the Christmas tree, which I think is excellent. You're even getting the mini stencils in here to create that background texture that you can see, and you've got the Christmas village. Let me run you through it. So you've got the, this is your Oh Christmas tree here. That's also got in there the worker die, the main worker die for you, as well as, of course, the stencils, the presents in the tree. And then these ones here, of course, got that nativity scene, the three wise men in there, also the stencils, as well as, of course, the Christmas scene with the villages, the little village on the hill, the shooting star. It's all in there for you. You will get the Totally Tiffany storage included as well. You are going to get the fab file, the magnetic sheet, and also the stamp pockets in there as well. Then we're also got for you, gosh, I mean, it is jam-packed. And this is not, I mean, there's even more stuff. In the next show, by the way, we're going to have all this stuff on the show again, and then even more stuff for you as well. Are we going to the cut-ins now? Centerpieces, there we are. So let's go back through these for you. The opulent baubles that you can see here are absolutely gorgeous. Then you've got the holly in here. You're going to receive the snowflakes, the deers, which are just fantastic. You've got the nativity scene, and you're going to get that lovely "Twas the Night" in there as well. $32.80 or $40 to get your hands on all of those ones. Should we do card of the show, Jan?
We can if you wish.
Oh, let's do that then.
Absolutely, yep. Okay, so let's have a look what we've done already then today. We started the top of the show then with the gnomes, didn't we? So we had that little, with his snow beards dry now.
Does anyone else keep thinking, I am a gnome and I live in a home, which was, I am a mole and I live in a hole? I don't know why I'm singing gnome that lives in a home to the tune of that.
Oh dear. So this was demo number 1, all right, with that lovely Nature's Garden gnome collection. Then we had the seam builder to make the little dome there with the Christmas village in. So that was number 2. Then we did the centerpiece dies, and we did those lovely baubles cut into the front of the card there with that inked through the die. That was number 3. And then we've just done the inverted easel card with those lovely stamp dies. All right, the tree stamps, and then I'm just about to go back to the centerpieces, and we're going to use them to make a slightly domed. It wouldn't be a Jan show without some craft card on there, would it? So we're just going to create, just got a slight dome in the top of this one, and we're going to use that lovely nativity scene there as well. So number 5. Okay.
Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You choose. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Right, where are we going to end it then, Jan? What's the final demo of this show?
I'm going to come back and do that one with the nativity on there with the craft card. So I've taken the Follow the Star, which has got that beautiful scene on there with the, it wouldn't be Christmas without a nativity scene, would it? And again, this one's a landscape one, and you've got the gorgeous sort of scene going on. You've got a partial cutting line, like we said before. There are gaps in that line, which is what's going to anchor this into your card, and then across the bottom it's pretty much sort of blank here. You've got some cutting edges, but this piece is going to stay attached in. So what I've done is I've actually taken the bit that's going to become my slight curve on the card, and I've just scored it at 1/2 inch on each side here to make a little glue tab when we've finished. And what I want to do is cut this into that space. So I'm just going to line this up somewhere around the centre here, and I'm going to tape it in so that we can die cut this. And then I've actually die cut it a second time in black, and we're going to create like a little drop shadow in the black. So again, decide where you want it, and I'm just eyeballing the sort of stable here to make sure he's straight, because obviously everything's working on a curve, so we don't want a wonky barn or a stable. So yeah, just have a look through there and decide whereabouts you want to have it positioned, and then again just tape it gently so that it's tacking it in place while it goes through the Gemini. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my plates again, thin metal die, so usual sandwich of plates, and these will go through your Gemini Junior again. They will fit through the MIDI, and they will also fit any other machines out there that have got that correct size plate. So they're not just for our Gemini range. If you're using any of the other die cutting machines on the market, they will work in those as well. So we pass that through, and it's going to cut that detail into my piece of card. It's not going to cut it out completely. If you wanted it as a topper, we did talk about that when we did the baubles earlier, and said, you know, you could just use the edge of the die to create yourself a cutting line. Just having a look whether we'll do a little bit of embossing again on it as well, I think, because these lend themselves. I'm just going to pop that while it's still in the die. We'll pop that lovely embossing mat on with my plastic shim, but always remember, embossing mat in, magnetic mat comes out. Otherwise, you're just going to end up cutting through everything and probably making a right holy mess of your embossing mat as well. So if we pop that through again, what it does, it squishes the card in to those gaps in your metal die where there isn't any cutting edge, adds that extra detail. So we'll just take those out of there now. Whoops, come back. Okay. And it's not a lot, it just adds that little bit of extra detail in there, which looks really nice. And then again, we just need to peel that tape away. So I've only put a little bit onto the card just to hold it in place there. Okay. And then again, just be careful when you release these so that you're not damaging any of that lovely detail underneath. And when you just
they
look...
are so intricate, aren't they?
Absolutely. Let me just get something lighter coloured to put behind it for you. And I think the detail in there, if you just have a look there now, and it's actually put embossed detail into the roof section here. It's got some embossed detail on the back of the camels. And I just think it's just that extra little bit, you know, if you're making something to gift to somebody, or if you're managing to sell your cards, it's just taking it that next step. So then from there, as I say, I've cut it again in black. And again, just a thin strip, because what I want to do is actually pop this behind if I keep this one here so that you can see, and just create that
really
sort
makes a
of
huge
little
difference,
drop
doesn't it?
shadow on it. Okay, so we're going to stick those together. Now, there's nothing, I could carry on with this one other than I've taped this one up ready. So literally I've done exactly the same, but I've got my tape on here. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get both of my tape pens at the ready. And on the front of this now, because it's going to stick behind here, on the front, I'm going to use my double-sided tape pen across the top and bottom. And then I'm just going to catch it in the odd place with my dotty tape pen. Not everywhere, just now and again, so that it's got something to stick to. And then what I want to do is just lay this one over the top. So line it up, and then what I tend to do is just come down and right, just a fraction, and it only needs to be like an 1/8 of an inch or a millimetre. And you can just see how it creates that sort of
Perfect.
drop
Makes all the
shadow.
difference,
It
doesn't
does. It does make a difference. And you know, that could be, it would look lovely in sort of a gold mirror card. It would look as if the light, you know, the stars shining on there. And just with that dotty tape pen, it's just sort of tacked it in places so that you've got a good stick. And then I've taken a piece of white stamping card, and this time I've used my gold spray and sparkle. I don't know whether it's picking it up there on the camera, just to give it a little bit of shimmer. He's coming to zoom in again, look. And it's just catching the light there. It's just got that little bit of gold shimmer on it, yeah? Yeah, and this is going to go behind here, but I've cut this slightly smaller than the other piece so that when we stick it in, it's going to create that slight bow on the front of it there. Okay, so let's move that plate out of the way, and we've put, let me just think, we need, that's it, I've got tape on there. So I'm going to take one of the sides off here, and I'm going to centre this piece and push it right into that score line and that fold, and wrap this edge around and stick it down. Okay, now it's not a lot, there's only about 1/4 of an, maybe not even 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch difference here, but it means that that front piece is not going to be totally flat. Now you can leave as much as you want. The bigger the gap here, the sort of the rounder the dome will be on the front, but this time I want to make sure that it pushes into this fold here before we fill that flap and stick it down. So you can see now on the top we've just created that nice little shape on the top, and then the tape on the back here will be to secure it to my card when we're finished. Now what I ought to have done before I stuck it together was put my mats and layers on, but we'll have a go. So I've just taken a piece of the black card and again some patterned paper. I think we're still on that same pad, just to actually make some layers to go top and bottom here. So because I've already rounded that piece, I've just slightly shaped these with my fingers, just to give it that hint that I want it to go around the gap here. So we're just going to pop these in here, like so.
Is it easier if you do this beforehand, Jan?
Probably,
Right.
yeah. Keep it flat and stick these on first. I get giddy, Joe.
You do.
You know what I'm like? I just love creating stuff, and then I forget bits. So again, all I've done is just literally run my finger under it, and you can see that it's just started to shape that a little bit, so it's going to be easier to stick down. So again, across here, just to pop some adhesive on. And then we're going to pop this one across the top, just, leaving a slight border all the way around there. And again, it would definitely be easier to have done that first before we stuck it to the background piece, but we got there in the end. So that's going to be the focal point on the front. And then I've got a card blank. My card blank is just 8 1/4, which is the width of our craft card here in the UK, by 6 inches. So I'm going to make it as a 10th fold card here with the fold at the top. And again, some matting and layering with those lovely papers. So we'll pop that one on, imposter there, pop it onto the card blank, and then we're going to sit that domed piece into the centre of this one. So just something a little bit different. So this one's going to mat and layer onto the front here, just leaving that tiny border all the way around. Okay, and then this one's just going to sit into the front, so that's where the tape came here. I could also probably get away with a little bit of use my all-purpose glue in the middle there just to make sure that that's all stuck down properly.
And great, of course, on a card project. Great on the top of a box, Jan. I mean, there's loads of different things you can do with this sort of technique, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I'm just going to take the liner off the red line tape. And then in that middle section, oops, I'm going to pop some all-purpose just to make sure that everything's stuck down nice and flat here on this back piece, because this is going to go back to back with the card. So in that centerpiece there, we'll just have a little bit of wet glue, and then make sure we're the right way up. So my card's opening that way, my scene's that way, and then we're just going to line that up pretty much central and then pop that into the middle. So again, you can push it one way to flatten one side, push it back the other way, and just pop your hand in there to make sure that that's nice and secure. All right, so you can just see it's got that lovely dome shape on. And then just a last little bit of decoration. I've got Oh Holy Night to go on the bottom, bit of ribbon on the top. So we'll just get that hot glue again and we'll pop the ribbon on. And I love the black with the craft card.
Yeah, it's gorgeous,
it's quite
isn't it?
Dramatic, isn't it? So that one's just going to go.
And is that heat embossed craft card, or is that just a pattern paper that you've got on the mats and layers there?
It's just patterns. It's just pattern paper.
Well, it kind of looks like heat embossed craft card stock from here.
You could do if you've got the stamps. You could equally white embossing powder on craft card looks lovely. It really does. I like doing sentiments like that on the craft card with the white embossing powder. Nice effect. So we're just going to pop that one. Shall we have it in the centre, or shall we have? We'll have it offset with the bow to one side there like that. Just with the hot glue. Get rid of my little strand. If you do get any of those strands with the hot glue, just pop your heat tool over them when you're finished, and it just melts everything and makes them disappear. So if I turn you that one round, okay, and then you've got that lovely nativity scene there doing its piece for the centerpieces. Okay.
Just one idea that you can do with any one of these as well. I'll quickly run you through this the options. I'll show you the concept suite again in a second as well. That goes with this. So you've got the baubles, the holly, with the snowflakes in here. You've also got that wonderful woodland scene, the nativity, and also 'Twas the Night in there as well. I'm just going to, you have to excuse me one second. I'm just going to grab the concept suite again just to show you some of the other ideas with these, because I mean they really are quite stunning. Whether you're doing little bags, whether it's boxes that you want to be making with these, you've also got, I mean, even just on very simple cards, I think they look amazing. That's just a very simple left fold card there. Definitely using multiples of them on the same project is going to be an option for you too, which is wonderful. Little gatefold card there. Love this kind of, I don't even know what this is called, Jan. It's like a Z-fold side stepper almost. So I got it wrong. No, there you go. There. I think I just invented a new one there by having it the wrong way around. There we are. Well, I was like, oh, I don't know what, we've invented a new one there. And I thought, I was like, isn't that an interesting card concept there? Look, it's quick, someone patent that. Also brilliant, of course, for things like your shaker cards. It just goes on and on, it really does. Love using them on the inside of cards is another great way of doing it too. So it really is lots and lots of different options there for you when it comes to putting these together. Demo of the show, Jan, is card number 1. The Gnomes is the demo of the show.
Thank you very much.
Into the demo of the day. Now, talking of the Gnomes, oh, there it is. How gorgeous. I'm really pleased that one. Really, really beautiful that. And people have been sending in pictures of their gnome projects as well for us, which is awesome. Andrea sent this one in to us, which is brilliant. Love it.
That is gorgeous. It's got a little garden chair out, look, and his little man shed.
His little gnome cave is off to. This next one's great from Maggie as well. Check this out. I love the colouring here.
Oh, look at the colour in there, and she's used the little stencils over there as well. Well done, Maggie. That's beautiful.
I love that Rebecca
as well. Just so quirky, isn't it?
Rebecca's incorporated them into the staycation.
I saw
a little
this
gnome
one on
holiday.
social media. This is a fabulous idea, Rebecca. I love it how she's got all the little pieces stood up in there. That looks so cute.
Rebecca's also done this one here, which I think is excellent.
Look.
How beautiful.
They look like little elves in their red and green, don't they? That's do you know, they really are cute, aren't they? That's the only way to describe them.
Really adorable.
Fantastic.
And Stephen Lee Guy sent this one in to us as well. I'm actually going to
lovely colouring on there as well.
Going to end the show by just going back through the gnomes. I mean, they have been unbelievably popular in this show. So let me just run through again what you're getting in there. Now, this is the biggest collection you're going to get potentially ever. I know there has been a couple of sellouts. I mean, if we do reorder the gnome collection, you definitely won't be getting it this side of Christmas. I don't recall, do you, Jan, a Nature's Garden collection where we've sort of got rid of it and then reordered it again?
No, they're a little bit like the signature collections. I think they do tend to be that one print rule. When it's gone, hasn't it?
When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
In here, this is the gnome child you've got. So you've got stamps, dies and stencils here. With this one. You've also then got the Kissing Gate, which is this one just here. And again, what you've got there is the holly, the mistletoe, and those trees in there. This is your gnome village, as you can see just here, which is brilliant. You've got the dies and then also the stencils in there. This is your gnome home. I am a gnome and I live in a home. Is that one? I don't know what's happened with me. These are crying out for the alcohol colouring. The amount of dimension and texture that you get on there as well is amazing.
Got another demo with that one later, Joe. In the later show, using the little homes.
Looking forward to that. Then you've got your embossing folder in here. Remember, you're going to get your vellums and acetates in here as well. So you've got your different designs here. So you've got the snow flurry, and you've also got the snowflake, and you'll get 3 of each of those, 4 different designs there for you. You then, of course, have your luxury cardstock, double-sided pearlescent cardstock, and then you've also going to get in here as well your paper pads. All of these gorgeous designs that you've got in there for you. Now, we're not done for the day. Myself and Jan will be back with launch party. There're going to be more gnomes coming up for you. Oh, is that what you're creating later, or have you just picked this out?
I wish.
Have you
honestly.
seen it?
No, this credit has to go here to Nikki.
What
honestly,
a creation.
This is a card and a half, Nikki. What a way to showcase that collection.
Brilliant,
absolutely
isn't it?
Beautiful. And also, I love this one as well. You know, not just cards. What about little gifts going on there? This one's a little notepad, look.
Brilliant.
Just
Love
with it
that.
on there.
Right,
Yeah.
well, loads more fun
Fantastic.
coming up for you in that later launch party show, myself and Jan. Make sure you get your baskets checked out, and make sure you join us back in here in a couple of hours' time, because we've got some wonderful alcohol inks coming out for you. And I know Jan's gonna have a field day with those. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Take care.